That is the symbol of this sacred staff. And the sacred headdress symbolizing the creation once again of the earth and of the nation. And all the feathers that extend from this buffalo hide represents the Oyate, the people who once used to camp in huge circles, and the man who wore this headdress camped in the very center of this encampment. Many great warriors know how hard it is to earn these sacred feathers. For each one that is connected onto this headdress has a meaning and had to be earned through great deeds. And so he who wore this sacred headdress wore it because he had a good heart and was worthy in the eyes of the people and in the eyes of the great mystery.
Though a revered teacher of Lakota wisdom, Dave Chief has struggled to remain on the Red Road in face of many challenges from modern America. What he found on his journey is that society's external controls like money, organized religion, and modern medicine ignore the natural connection between man, earth, and the universe. In his personal struggle to get back to what once worked for him, the ways of his heritage, Dave Chief decided to Sundance. Sundance is one of the 7 sacred ceremonies brought to the Lakota by White Buffalo Calf Woman. For 4 days, without food or water, the warrior dances and prays. He then offers his body, his one true possession, piercing his flesh as sacrifice for his people. He takes upon himself the suffering that might otherwise befall them. Sundance is not about suffering or ritual. It is about our continual preparation and commitment to others through overcoming ego, to love beyond your self-love.
I want to, first of all, give thanks once again for this opportunity in which to be able to talk about these things here today. My Indian name is Thunder, pronounced Wakian, and I go by the name of Dave Chief. I was born along the red shirt table there in Lakota territory. And I grew up witnessing many things that were taught to me by my grandmothers, my mother, my father, my grandfathers. It was a good way of life. We would get up with the sun. We would live off of wild, four-legged deer and other wild sources of food. And in that time, all the people were happy because we lived close to the land, united in the natural laws. And then there came a time when I got older that I joined the armed services and served this country. And then many things began to change. Many Lakota warriors, Lakota men, were taken into the military. Many of them died. The Lakota, or the original treaty that was signed between the United States government and the Lakota people. The treaty said that we would never pick up arms. Yet many of our people volunteered to go and fight for this thing called freedom and this land that we call Mother Earth. And yet, after all these things have been done, the Lakota people are still being denied their land. They're being denied this freedom of religion. They are being denied the rights, the basic rights that every human being should have in this world. And so I walk the dark road for a while as I was trying to readjust when I came back from the service. They were going through a very hard time. I began to remember my roots, began to remember where I come from, remember the teachings of the old ways. So there came a time in my life when I had to stand up for the people. I joined the longest walk across America and the trail of broken treaties. When we had traveled to Washington, and many of the old treaties and documents that were there. And so, because they didn't want us to know these things about our land and our treaty rights and our sovereign rights, they began an investigation. My life became difficult and dangerous. But in that time, I thought about what the old people say and the truth of all things. And that's what made me strong to go through many things in my life, to be able to come back here and stand up for my people. Because today, our spirituality, our sacredness, our sacred pipe, our sacred things are being abused and misused. But I want to remind us all, once again, of the original instructions that were brought to us long ago, and the knowledge and the understanding that the old people gave us. Never sell the sacred pipe. Never sell the sacred ceremonies. Never sell these things. Mother Earth, the sacred Black Hills, the sacred mountains where long ago the old people say we were born. This is where we come from. This is where our culture and our roots are here in these sacred mountains. And it is told that back in that time when the violation occurred,